Today we're going to measure length to the nearest half inch or the nearest 4 inch and use measurement data to make a line plot. Okay, I know we read this yesterday, so I'll just read it to you today. You have learned how to measure length to the nearest inch when you were in 2nd grade. Sometimes the length of an object is not a whole unit. It's not a whole inch. It might be in the middle. For example, a paper clip is more than 1 inch, but less than 2 inches. You can measure length to the nearest half inch or 1/4 inch. A half inch markings on a ruler divide each inch into 2 equal parts. A 1/4 inch divides each into 4 equal parts. Okay, so we don't need our rulers yet because they have a ruler on the paper for us, right?
Which is nice.
So example 1, use this ruler to measure the glue stick to the nearest half inch. Now remember, we talked about half being in the middle of the 2 numbers, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so, Cooper, come show me where half inch is on the ruler. Circle the half inch mark. All right. Now, is the line coming down from the glue stick closer to the half inch or to the 2?
Half inch.
Okay, so when it goes past the 2, you still say 2, but then you add the words and a half. Okay? So you line up the glue stick at the end of the left part with the 0 mark on the ruler. The right end of the glue stick is between the half inch marks for 2 and 2.5. The mark is closest to the right of the glue stick. Right end of the glue stick is for 2.5 inches. So the length of the glue stick is 2.5 inches. That's what we said yesterday, right?
Yes.
Okay. Now we spent a lot of time yesterday on half inches. Today let's talk about a little bit more about 1/4 inches. Now I know on your rulers I showed you to put dots where the 1/4s are. I'm going to just put dots where the 1/4s are on this one too. Okay? So we have 1/4, 1/4, 1/4. Now I know the half is also a 1/4, okay? It's the 2/4. So that's 1/4, 2/4, 3/4. 1/4, 2/4, 3/4. 1/4, 2/4, 3/4. But you would just say 1 and 1/4, 1 and 2/4, 1 and 3/4 if it was over there, okay? Now, line up the left of the paper clip with the 0 mark on the ruler, which we did. They have that there, right? The right end of the paper clip is between what 1/4 inch marks? Let's look at this. Okay. Remember, I said we're only going to use 1/4, 2/4, and 3/4, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so after the 1 would be 1/4. The mark after the 1 is 1/4. The mark in the middle is 2/4, which equals 1/2. It's the same as 1/2. The mark after that would then be 3/4. What is that mark in between? What 4ths is that mark in between?
A half.
It's between the 1 and 1/2. You have to remember to say the whole number, too, okay? It is between the 1 and 1/2 and 1 and 3/4. Yes. It's between the 1/2 and the 3/4, but you have to say 1 and 1/2 and 1 and 3/4. Okay? The mark is closest to which one, though? Is it closest to the 1 and 1/2, or is it closest to the 1 and 3/4? Let's look at this line. You may make it look better for you. Go down. Is it closest to the 1 1/2 or the 1 3/4?
1 3/4.
1 3/4. Right. It is closest to 1 3/4. Okay, so the length of the paper clip to the nearest 1/4 inch is 1 3/4. Okay? And I had you put the fourths on your own rulers with the little dots. Alright, go to the next page. Okay, yesterday, I had you get out 10 crowns. Okay? And we were going to measure each of those crowns to complete the line plot. Okay, and we're going to describe any patterns that we see. Okay, so we measured the crowns to the nearest ½ inch, and we had one person have 2 inches and one have 3.5, so we're going to just use their X for 3.5. What did you get, Savannah, you and Wyatt?
We got 2.5.
So where are we going to put it?
Over the 2.5.
2.5. Not just a half, it has to have 2.5. Okay, Callie, what did you get?
I got 3.
3. Aubrey and Carter, what did you guys get?
3.5.
3.5. Jacob, what did you get? 2. Cooper, what did you get? 3. What did you get, Xander?
1.5.
1.5. And what did you get, Tyson and Bella, for your first crown? 3.5. And what did you get for your second crown? 1. Okay. So we got a line plot from all the measurements that we just did. Describe any patterns that you see on your line plot. What do you see?
Oh!
Anything. Just describe something from this line plot. Callie?
That it'll.
Eli?
It gets smaller and bigger and smaller and bigger. It goes 1, 2, 3 at the end.
No.
Where it starts, that how many without the 1 inch crown, it's 1, 2, 1, 2.
Okay, I'm not describing the X's per se. I'm not showing how they're stair stepping or there's 1 and then 2 and then 1 and then 2. I want you to describe the lengths.
It goes order 1.
Okay, no, I know that. That's how a line plot works. That's how, I mean, it has to go in order. You're not going to not go in order. But I want to know something about the information that this shows. Tell me something about this information.
There were 3 crowns that were the same length.
Okay, there are 3 crowns that are the same length. That is telling me about the information. Give me
There are
that.
2 crowns. There are 2 crowns. There are 3. Huh? 3 crowns that are 3 inches.
There are 2 crowns that are 3 inches. But I want you to maybe think more about comparing. Please get that off your page. Think more about comparing these things.
3 inches and 2 inches. Same.
Okay, yes, we could say 3 inches and 2 inches have the same amount. Or the same amount of crowns were 3 inches and 2 inches.
Yeah, we could do that
Okay.
because there's
Eli? Tyson? Okay, there are no crowns that are bigger than 4 inches. Or you could say most crowns are 2 inches or bigger. Right?
Yeah.
Okay, there's lots that we could say. Let's write something down. I'm going to write most crowns are 2 inches or bigger.